Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The buzz around the league has absolutely detonated after a wave of whispers turned into a full-blown shocker, ESPN reportedly confirming that Chris OLAVE is heading to the Washington Commanders. And let me tell you, the moment that rumor started circulating, the NFL community practically stopped breathing. Everywhere you look, people are scrambling to understand how this even happened. Who initiated the first move? And what kind of behind-the-scenes power play could have pushed this forward? Analysts, insiders, former players, everybody is talking. But nobody seems to know the whole story. It feels like one of those moments when the league shifts under our feet. And suddenly a team that everyone thought was sitting quietly in the background pulls off a move that nobody predicted. And if this rumor sticks, if it holds strong the way insiders insist it will, this might be one of those rare moments that turns into legend. The kind of story fans retell 10 years from now. When discussing the rise of an unexpected powerhouse, people close to the situation keep repeating another detail that's been circulating like wildfire. The Commanders have supposedly been planning something big for months, but nobody connected the dots until now. Think about it, every cryptic comment from their front office, every subtle hint about Ray building the identity of the franchise, every whisper about wanting to bring in a dynamic playmaker. When you line it up like that, the picture starts getting clearer. And suddenly the idea of Chris OLAVE packing his bags and heading to Washington doesn't feel impossible anymore. It starts to feel intentional, calculated, almost orchestrated. What's wild is that OLAVE isn't just another receiver, he's a game changer. A guy who bends defensive schemes without even touching the ball. Someone who elevates an entire offense just by stepping on the field. The Commanders making a move like this signals something deeper. A shift in mindset, a willingness to go all in. And as this rumor picks up speed, fans across the league are either excited, terrified, or completely confused, depending on which team they support. The conversations coming out of league circles hint that this rumor negotiation didn't happen overnight, and that's the part that really makes people lean in. Supposedly, this move has been a slow burn, a carefully monitored opportunity waiting for the right moment to ignite. One insider even mentioned that the Commanders' interest in OLAVE started way back when they were evaluating potential offensive identities for the future, and his name repeatedly popped up in internal discussions. If true, that means this wasn't just a reaction to market trends or sudden availability. It was part of a bigger vision, and when a franchise starts operating with that kind of clarity, that kind of long-term ambition, it hints at a shift in how they view their path forward. Add to that the sudden eruption of murmurs claiming that high-profile figures inside the organization pushed heavily for a player with OLAVE's unique skill set, and everything starts to align. The story keeps expanding, turning into one of those league-wide mysteries where everyone knows something is happening, but no one can quite see the full picture yet. As these rumors spread, fans can't help but speculate about how OLAVE fits into what the Commanders could be building. It's impossible not to imagine the ripple effect on their offensive spacing, the mismatches, the defensive chaos a receiver like him can create if the rumor pans out. It's the kind of shift that could instantly raise expectations around the entire franchise. Suddenly, the Commanders wouldn't just be a team looking for identity. They'd be a team asserting themselves, demanding respect, changing the narrative that surrounded them for too long. And that's what has social media exploding right now. People posting mock lineups, bold predictions, and wild theories about how far this team could go with an elite route runner added to their arsenal. Even rival fans are stopping to admit, grudgingly or not, that a move like this could tilt the balance in ways nobody saw coming. It's not just a rumor, it's a tremor shaking the NFL landscape. But the most fascinating part of this entire buzz is the way insiders describe the reactions around the league. Supposedly, multiple front offices were caught completely off guard, leaving them scrambling to reassess their own strategies. Some are reportedly frustrated, feeling like they missed an opportunity. Others are in pure denial, refusing to believe the Commanders had the leverage or the pieces necessary to make something like this happen. And then there are the coaches quietly watching from afar, mentally recalculating how they defend against an offense featuring a player with OLAVE's explosiveness. That's the power of a rumor like this. It doesn't just influence fans. It affects professionals who have to think 3 steps ahead. Every franchise has to consider the possibility that this will become reality. even if it remains unconfirmed, and that tension, that pressure, gives this rumor an electricity that's hard to ignore. Because it's not just about one player moving teams, it's about the ripple effect that move would create across the league. What amplifies everything even further is the silence from the main figures involved. No cryptic messages on social media, no half-said hints, no denials. Nothing. That kind of silence speaks louder than any official statement right now. Every time the cameras catch OLAVE, every time a reporter tries to corner someone from either franchise, the tension spikes. People are watching body language, facial expressions, even the smallest offhand comment, and when ESPN drops a confirmation like this, even if phrased carefully, even if couched as early information still unfolding, it sends everyone spiraling into speculation mode. The quietness, the mystery, the lack of direct clarity, it all turns the rumor into something much bigger than a simple transaction. It becomes a storyline, a saga, something that feels like it's growing legs and sprinting through the NFL's rumor mill at full speed. And the craziest part, this might just be the beginning. Behind the scenes, more voices are coming out with subtle confirmations, adding fuel to the fire and making the entire situation feel increasingly real. There's talk that conversations between the two sides were far more advanced than anyone realized, with some insiders claiming that a framework had been whispered about long before any of this hit the public eye. People familiar with these discussions hint that the Commanders had been evaluating multiple receiver options, but OLAVE consistently ranked higher than the rest because of his versatility and compatibility with the offensive concepts being designed internally. Add to that the rumors about Washington's growing desire to shift toward a more dynamic vertical approach, and suddenly the idea of OLAVE becoming a centerpiece makes perfect sense. It's almost as if the organization had been quietly rearranging its puzzle pieces, while the rest of the league wasn't paying attention, waiting for the exact moment to pounce. Meanwhile, sources connected to the Saints' orbit have apparently been dealing with their own internal debates. It's being whispered that not everyone within the franchise agreed on whether moving OLAVE was the right long-term strategy. Some reportedly believed that he was a fundamental piece of their offense, someone who could anchor the system for years. Others supposedly saw this as a rare window to maximize value, especially if the Commanders were willing to make aggressive offers. And that internal tug-of-war has become part of the rumor's allure, creating this cloud of mystery about who pushed for what and why. The idea that a split perspective might have shaped this negotiation is turning into one of the most talked about angles in insider groups. Whether or not any of it is true almost doesn't matter. The mere possibility adds layers to the drama, making the whole situation feel like a chess match played behind locked doors, where every whisper changes the board, adding another layer to the insanity. Sources claim that Washington's coaching staff has been buzzing since the rumor started spreading. The excitement reportedly isn't just about Olive's skill, but about what he represents: a shift toward a more fearless, explosive identity. Coaches love players who change the geometry of the field, and that's exactly the kind of effect OLAVE brings. There are so many whispers describing how certain assistant coaches have been analyzing potential ways to integrate him into the playbook. Even though nothing official has been announced, it's the kind of rumor that gives fans goosebumps, because it suggests a level of preparation that goes deeper than your typical off-season chatter. According to some insiders, the moment these rumors hit the airwaves, there was a wave of excitement inside the Commanders building. Almost like everyone realized at once that their offensive ceiling could be dramatically higher than anyone expected. At the same time, the broader NFL world continues to react. With a mix of disbelief and fascination, analysts are jumping onto podcasts, breaking down hypothetical schemes, debating whether this move elevates the Commanders into a new competitive tier. Fans from rival teams are venting frustrations online, posting emotional rants about how unfair it feels that Washington might suddenly pull off a blockbuster move that shakes the conference. And then there are the casual observers, just enjoying the chaos, watching teams scramble to react to a rumor that may or may not be fully true yet. But that's the magic of moments like this. The uncertainty creates entertainment on its own. Every time someone claims to have inside information, the comment sections explode. Every time a new detail emerges, even if minor or vague, the discussion resets. The rumor has become bigger than football. It's become a storyline with a life of its own, growing louder with each voice that weighs in. Inside Washington's fan base, the reactions are almost cinematic. People are creating fan edits, mock jersey reveals, highlight compilations with OLAVE, Already wearing the burgundy and gold, entire streams are dedicated to discussing what this rumored arrival would mean for team chemistry, locker room culture, and offensive philosophies. It's like watching hope take physical form, spreading from one fan to another, creating a contagious sense of momentum. Some supporters are already dreaming about the potential matchups, imagining defensive coordinators scrambling to figure out how to stop a receiver with OLAVE's precision and agility, and even though nothing is officially stamped or sealed, the excitement feels real, almost tangible. You can sense that fans are embracing this rumor, not just because of the player involved, but because of the message it sends that their team might finally be swinging for the fences, making bold moves to shake off old narratives and build something that truly commands attention. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. And as this rumor continues to echo throughout the NFL universe, one thing becomes clear: even if the final outcome ends up different from what's being whispered, now the impact has already been felt. The Commanders have officially entered the conversation in a way they haven't in ages, and Chris Olave's name has become the centerpiece of the loudest rumor in the league. Every insider who speaks adds a new twist, every silence adds tension, and every speculative detail adds another spark to the fire. This is the kind of storyline that transforms an off-season, the kind that fans talk about endlessly until the truth finally comes out. And whether OLAVE truly ends up in Washington, or whether this entire saga becomes just another legendary twist in the NFL rumor mill, one thing's for sure: the league won't stop buzzing anytime soon. This rumor didn't just explode, it echoed, and it's still shaking everything around it. The craziest part is how this rumor has begun influencing players around the league. Even those who aren't directly involved, you can feel the tension through little interactions, likes on social media, vague reposts, cryptic quotes that don't mention names but feel suspiciously timed. Some players close to the Commanders roster have been dropping subtle hints, little nods that make fans believe they know more than they're allowed to say. And that's where the speculation turns from simple curiosity into full-blown frenzy. Every emoji becomes a clue. Every offhand remark transforms into a potential confirmation. Even retired players have jumped into the conversation, fueling the narrative with stories about how certain blockbuster moves always start as whispers just like this. It's almost poetic how a single rumor can create a storm big enough to drag the entire NFL into its orbit, and the more people try to downplay it, the louder it seems to get. It's like the league is collectively holding its breath, waiting for that one official announcement that would either validate the madness or silence it completely. Though right now, silence feels almost impossible, and what's truly wild is how this rumor has shifted the perception of Washington's front office overnight. Suddenly, they're being painted as masterminds, as a group quietly operating in the shadows while the rest of the league assumed they were just patching holes and trying to stay afloat. Now the narrative has flipped entirely, with fans and analysts debating whether this is the start of a new era defined by bold, almost theatrical moves. People are already imagining what the next step could be. If they're willing to chase a star like OLAVE, what else might they be planning? There's this sense that Washington is no longer waiting for opportunities, but creating them, forcing the league to acknowledge their ambition, and that's the kind of energy that can shift a franchise's culture, turning doubt into confidence, skepticism into excitement. Whether this rumor ends up being truth or just another chapter in NFL mythology, the Commanders have managed to plant themselves right at the center of the conversation, and right now, the whole football world is watching with wide eyes and racing pulses. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.